Amen. So thank you so much for that. Good morning, class. Good morning. So today, before we proceed to our discussion, let's have an attendance. Say present if your name is called. Agarado, Alonsabe, Imas. Very good. No one is absent today. So let's have a quick recap of our previous discussion. What was our discussion all about yesterday? It's all about the literal and literary meaning. So, do we have an assignments? Okay, please pass it forward at count of 5. 1, 2, 5. Okay? Thank you so much. So now I have here a poem. All you have to do is to read it aloud all together. According to its spin, you know how to write a poem? Okay, very good. This poem entitled The Poison Tree by William Blake. Read it aloud all together. Okay, thanks so much for that. So what does this poem all about? What is what do you understand with this poem? Yes? Very good. It's about suppressed anger. Yes? It's about secrecy. Very good. So this poem is all about the someone who is not is hiding his feelings and is suppressing his anger, and then it grow and it become a poison. So it become in literal, it become destructive. Very good. So now let's have an activity. So I have a crumpled paper here, and all you have to do is to pass it around with your classmates, and then the one who got this paper will going to answer. So this crumpled paper, each layer of this has questions. So the one who got this paper at the count of 5 will going to answer the above layer of this crumpled paper. So pass it around. At the count of 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, what's the first question? Okay. Did you enjoy with their activity? Okay, did you enjoy? So let's. I have a question. So how do these words, those answers, how do those answers relevant to each other? Yes, it's from the poem. It can be seen in the poem. Very good observation. So what do you think would be our topic this morning? It's all about poem. Very good. So our topic for this morning. Before that, let's read our learning objectives. So let me read our learning objectives. So at the end of the lesson, you should be able to identify the elements, the rhymes, the sound devices, imagery, and figurative language and its types. Appreciate how elements create emotional impact in a poem. And C is to annotate a poem by labeling the elements used. So our topic for this morning is about the elements of poem. So what are the elements of poem? These includes the rhymes, the sound devices, the imagery, and the figurative language. Are you familiar with these words? Familiar, but not too. You need more explanation of this, right? Okay. So let's begin with the rhyme. So rhyme is the repetition of similar sound, usually at the end of the lines of the poem. So every poem has a lines, right? So the rhymes is the repetition of the similar sounds within the lines or at the end of the lines. So the rhyme follows a different patterns. It is called what do you do you know it? What the pattern known for? Okay, very good. How do you know that? So it is called the rhyme scheme. So the rhyme scheme is in order to determine the rhyme scheme in the poem, you have to assign a letter in each line, and if the two lines have the same sound, the same end sound, they you should put the same letter. Let's go back to this poem. So let's identify what's the rhyme scheme of this poem. So let's identify. So I was angry with my friend. So the sound the sound of the end of the line is friend. And the second one, I told my wrath did end. Are they similar? Very good, they are similar. So you should assign a letter here. The first line is A, and the second line, since they are similar, they have similar sounds, you also put A. Now in the third line, I was angry with my fool. Are they similar with this two? No. Therefore, you should put B. The fourth line, I told a gnat my wrath did grow. Foe, grow. Are they similar? Yes, very good. Now, on the second stanza, and it watered it in fears. So, is there any similar sound in the first line? No. So, therefore, you should write C. And in the second line, in the second stanza, so what's the answer? C, very good. On the third line, D. On the fourth line, D again. So this poem follows the A, B, B, and C, C, D, D, and so on. Now let's proceed to the sound devices. So the sound devices is a technique used to enhance the musicality of the poem. So every poem has a certain musicality. So there are 4 types of sound devices. For a while. So there are 4 types of sound devices: the onomatopoeia, alliteration, assonance, and consonants. So let's begin with the onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia is the practice of naming something based on a phonetic or spoken emanation of a sound associated with it. For example, I heard a bang outside. So when we heard bang, so what does it mean? It is something crashed or shoot, right? So this another example is the word wow. So the word wow. It is the person is surprised or amazed by something. So did you get it? Okay. Now the next example is the alliteration. The alliteration is the initial consonant sound. So the alliteration is the repetition of initial consonant sound. So at the beginning of the words of each line. So for example, Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. So the P is consonant, right? So it is being repeated. So the initial letter is the P. So that is alliteration. of vowel sounds. The repetition of vowel sounds. What are the vowel letters? The A, E, I, O, and U. Very good. So in Apple, you can say that the author used incorporate assonance with assonance if there is vowel sounds that is being repeated. For example, the rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain. So what are the vowel sounds that is being repeated? So the A and I, rain in the Spain and mainly in the plain. Did you get it?
Yes.
Very good. So the next one is the consonants. The consonants. The repetition of consonant sounds within or at the end of the words. For example, it is humpy. It is humpy, bumpy road. So the consonants is the repetition of consonants but within or at the end. So the alliteration is the initial or the beginning at the first letter. But in consonants is within or the center or in the middle or in the end of the words. Did you get it? Okay. Now let's go back to this poem. So what sound devices what William played incorporate, what sound devices he incorporated in this poem? Let's identify. So in this line, I told my rap and my rap the end. So the W has been repeated, right? So what is it? So it is the initial or the first letter of the word. So it is alliteration. Alliteration. What else? Does he use consonants or onomatopoeia? So yes, very good. He used assonance. So I told it my rat and my rat did grow. So very good. I told, so the O has been repeated, not my rat did grow. So the vowel sounds, the O has been repeated. Therefore, the author used assonance. Right? Okay. What else? How about consonants? Did William Blake use consonants? Is there any? Yes, very good. I watered it in fears. So that is assonance also. Now let's proceed to the imagery. Another element is the imagery. So the imagery is the descriptive language that appeals to the senses. What are the five senses? Yes, the sight, very good. Hearing, touch. What else? The taste, and lastly the nose or the smell, right? So those are the five elements. So imagery is perceived through our five senses. So there are five types of imagery. So the first one is the visual. So it is perceived by our eyes, right? So it is described. It is described what something looks like including the colors, the size, and the appearance of something being referred into the poem. So the next one is the auditory. So it appeals with the sense of hearing. So by describing the sounds, the tone, or the silence. So it makes every scene more realistic by allowing the readers to hear the action within the poem. So you have pictures in your it creates a vivid mental pictures in your mind. So let's proceed to the olfactory. So olfactory is perceived by our nose. So it describes the scents, the odors, or the fragrance. For example, the fragrance of the roses and jasmines in your hair. So it means her hair is her hair smells good, right? The next one is the gustatory. So the gustatory is perceived through our mouth. So it is described the flavors, the sourness, the sweetness, right? So you experience the taste of this poem as if you are eating or drinking, right? So the last one is the tactile imagery. So tactile imagery appeals to the sense of touch. So by describing the textures, the temperature, and the sensations. So let's go back again to this poem. So did you see a imagery here? Okay, very good. The apple bright. So the apple bright. So what senses we perceive it? Very good, the eyes. So we perceive it through our eyes. So it is visual. So the author incorporates visual imagery. What else? The auditory. So the author doesn't have a strong sound description, but the repetition of the repetition of the rat. So it makes the anger feel loud and strong, right? So there are auditory. What else? Olfactory. Very good. The olfactory, the apple suggests the sweetness, right? So, but the apple here is poisonous. So it is covered with fig, right? So does the author use olfactory? Yes, it could be olfactory. What else? Tactile imagery. So where? So in the soft, deceitful wilds. Very good. So let's proceed to the last element of the poem, which is the figurative language. So the figurative language, it gives clearness, force, and beauty to the ideas that add effectiveness to one's speech and writing. So figurative language is goes beyond literal meaning, right? So figurative language uses different figures of speech. So there are common figurative speech, including the simile. So simile are the indirect comparisons that use the word like or as. So we can see that the author if there is the word like or as. So she's like a flower, something like that. So indirect comparison. So it is the indirect comparison. So the second one is the metaphor. So metaphor are direct comparison of the state one thing is another. So he or she doesn't use as or like or as anymore. But the author directly comparing the two things. So the third one is personification. So the attribution of personal nature or human characteristic to something non-human. So the one person is being related to something non-human or something supernatural, right? The second one, supernatural or non-living things. So the second and the fourth one is the hyperbole. So hyperbole is an intentional exaggeration of an exaggerated statement that is meant to be taken literally. The fifth one is the irony, use of words to express something other than, especially to the opposite of the literal meaning. So the irony is you are expressing something other than and especially to the opposite of the literal meaning. Did you guys get it? By the way, did you get the? Let's wrap up. So did you guys get the difference of these types of the types of the elements? Okay. Now let's have an activity. So I have here a copy of poem Jabberwocky by Lewis Carroll. So all you have to do is to analyze it. You have to identify the elements, the types of elements being used in this poem. Did you get it? Yes. Okay, so by the way, I'm going to divide you into two groups. This one is the first group and this one is the second group. So here's your copy and then this is your copy. I'll give you 10 minutes to answer. 10 minutes to identify the elements. Okay, are you guys done? Okay, please pass your paper forward. Okay, now please get a 1/4 sheet of paper as we're going to have a quiz. Surprise! So get one half sheet of paper, read each questions carefully and choose the best answer from the given options. Select the letter corresponding to your chosen answer. So number 1 is, what is the main purpose of the writing poetry? Number 2, which element appeals to the most to the senses? Number 3, what is rhyme scheme? And number 4, which of the following best defines figurative language? And lastly, essay. Explain how do the sound devices rhyme, imagery, and figurative language make poetry more interesting and enjoyable. Okay. Done? Okay. Okay, please exchange your paper with your seatmates. Okay, let's check. Number 1, B. He will get the correct answer. Okay, very good. Number 2, B. Number 3, B. Number 4, C. And number 5 is, I will be the one who is going to check that. Please pass your paper forward. I can count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, thank you so much for that. I think you all guys listened. Okay, for your assignments, compose a poem yourself of anything that interests you. It must have a minimum of 4 stanzas. Incorporates the simple rhyme. Please incorporate the simple rhyme scheme, sound devices, imagery, and figurative language techniques. So use the rubric below to evaluate your work. Did you get it? Okay. Do you have any concerns, questions, concerns, and clarifications? And so far. Thank you so much for listening. Goodbye, class.